You've been playing the role of the peacekeeper, the provider, the nice guy, just trying to keep the peace. You don't want to rock the boat. You walk on eggshells maybe. Maybe you come to this place where your wife doesn't respect you at all. Maybe you come to this place where she undermines your authority with the kids. Maybe she comes to this place where she even cheats on you or betrays on you. This video, I'm going to show you why this happened. I'm going to show you exactly how your relationship, how your marriage could devolve into such a fucking three-ring shit show. And what you can do to absolutely turn this around in just the next day or two. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. The process of being with a woman for 50 years or a woman that you're dating is pretty much the same. For us, it's just science. Because we know the patterns, we know the solutions. It's not that complicated. You have to make a commitment for yourself. That's what it means to be in Soul Seducer program. That's what it means to work with me directly. So that you can learn to handle your emotions, so you can learn to see right into a woman's soul and seduce her from within, to create this garden that she can actually thrive in. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. You keep walking on eggshells. You can't stand up for yourself, because even if you do, even if you tell her she's wrong, she'll just come out and just start accusing you of things. She'll deflect the argument and not take any responsibility. You wonder how you get to this place where it doesn't matter what you say, it's always taken as criticism. It doesn't matter what you do, it's never enough. It's like there's never any goalpost of things that you were trying to do to appease her, try to get her to love you, get her to understand you and your position, but all it does is seem to enrage her even more. And guys come to this place like, how the hell did I get here? How did I get to this place where my wife used to look up to me? She used to be my greatest cheerleader, but now she's my biggest adversary. And for most men, they get in this place where their wife is their biggest adversary. They have no idea to turn it around. So they end up having these logical conversations with her. Say, hey, how do we communicate more? And eventually he's just tired of the attitude, because she'll give him a sideways glance, or she'll roll her eyes, or she'll just completely undermine his authority with the kids. And he'll come home, he'll try to have some discipline with the children, but he can't have discipline, because then she'll say that he's the bad guy. Yet on the other side, she's completely just letting them do whatever they want. You're like, how do I deal with this? How do I have this woman actually see me for who I am? How do I have her actually understand what's going on? How do I have her actually respect me? You see, the problem isn't that you're a nice person. The problem isn't that you're a good husband. The problem isn't that you're a jerk, or you're a dictator, or you're trying to get on to her. The problem is you're lacking power in yourself and in your conviction and your certainty in what you want to do in your life. And so for the nice guy, he's always trying to negotiate with his wife. How do I come to this conclusion? How do we get to this place where you and I can now come to a mutual consensus, because we want to have this place of love and understanding? But she sees you as this guy who is not powerful in himself. And so she's like, why should I listen to you? You have no authority here. And you're like, yes, I do. I'm your husband. You should listen to me because you care about me and you love me. She's like, yeah, well, why would I have to do that? There's no consequence for not paying attention to you, because you will never leave me. You will do anything to make me happy. You will buy me stuff. All I have to do is throw a little guilt or shame or deflect the conversation back to you, and then you get to this place where you just lock down. And so she's like, she can't actually feel you because you're in this logical space. Most guys turn into this android, this robot. Like if the wife gets upset, gets angry, the guy can't actually be in the space of emotionality with her. No. What he ends up doing is he goes into reactivity, or he ends up shutting down completely. Go into logic mode. Let me figure out how to solve this problem logically. She's like, that's not my husband. I can't feel the man underneath that. I can't feel his truth. And the guy's like, no, my truth is my logic. No, it's not. What you've done is you abdicated your own emotionality, your humanity in a sense, in order to be in this logical place, because you're not feeling comfortable with emotions. You're not comfortable with your wife's emotions. You try to shut that down, and so what she'll do is she'll amplify it. She'll engage you more, trying to feel the real guy inside. But what ends up happening is that when she finally cracks it open, you lose your fucking mind. He becomes this guy who is angry, mad, resentful. You can't even see yourself. So how are you going to see her if you can't even see yourself? And so you're coming from this place of, I'm either just not present at all in my emotions. I can't really see her because I'm not present with myself, or it's too much. Most guys that come into the Soul Seducer program, what we end up seeing is, and this is probably true for you if you're watching this video, is that guys are not connected within at all. They cannot embody themselves. They cannot feel their emotionality. They don't really know what's going on inside, because they put everything else into the other person. In other words, he puts his whole life into his wife. He puts his whole life into his kids, into his job, or into his business. And like, what's left for him? And so if you cannot be tapped within, and you're in this place of just complete logic, and then again on this other place of just, I'm way too emotional, and so you're hiding. You're hiding from yourself, and you're hiding from your wife. You can't deal with your wife's emotions. This is why guys try to solve her problems all the time. I need to solve her problem because, for one, I don't like her being super emotional. If she cries, it makes me uncomfortable. If she's sad, it's uncomfortable. And if she's uncomfortable, if she's sad or angry, upset, I got to solve it because there's something wrong with the relationship. If I can't make her happy, then she will leave me. And so guys play this game of performance-based mindset. And so all of these things are a big problem. And it's one single problem that's happening. He's not able to lead the relationship because what he's doing is reacting to everything that she's doing. He's reacting to his family, he's reacting to his wife, and he's trying to make her happy. But all this reactivity means that he's lost sight of the one thing that matters, which is the goal. You do all these things to try to make her love you. You try to dive into all these problems, and she doesn't want this. She just wants your presence. She just wants to see that you're there in the thick of it with her. And when she gets all wrapped up and freaking out and stuff like this, you don't just completely capitulate all of your boundaries and issues and all. You are solid in who you are. She doesn't want a pushover. She doesn't want you to like what she likes. She wants you to like what you like. She wants you to lead. She wants you to build something great that she can be a part of. She doesn't want you to put her on the pedestal and have her do this. That means you're putting her in a pilot seat. She doesn't want to be there. This is why you get all the resentment. That's why you get all the sideways glances and the manipulation, because she's like, this guy's weak. All he's doing is going after what I want. It irritates the hell out of me, so I'm going to give him some attitude. And then when you fall back on that attitude, you can't dive into it and say, hey, what's going on? And actually look at yourself and see where you're abdicating leadership. She gets even more frustrated, even more angry, even more annoyed. And then she throws more at you, and then you go into this logical space. Well, I'm going to solve this problem here. What do we got to solve? The problem is that you're not showing up in your life. The problem is you're not showing up as a man who is convicted and certain into the future that he wants to create, because you haven't even thought about what that's going to be. And so the biggest shift that guys need to make is, how do I stop being this servant and how do I start living like a king? Living like a king does not mean I'm going to consume a lot of shit. It means I'm going to live in the way that I advocate. I'm going to live unapologetically myself. I'm going to do it with heart and humility. Why? Because if I don't, I'll destroy my kingdom. So how do I lead my family the way that I choose to lead it? Most guys are like, well, I don't know. I got to get permission from her. I got to get the buy-in from her. No, you don't. She might push on you to make sure you keep it right, but you got to be the one to dictate the vision. You got to be the one to say, this is where we're going in life. This is how I want to live, and this is how I want to create. What is the purpose of being together to begin with? What is the purpose of your life? Where are you going, and why are you going there? Most men never take the time to really sit down and figure this out. They never take the time to like, why am I on this planet? What am I deciding I want to create? What am I deciding I want to do? And I've seen in the YouTube comments here where guys will say, why do I have to have this purpose and do all these big things? Why can't a woman just love me for who I am? You're not even loving yourself for who you are. You don't even want to dig deep and see what you truly want. Like, well, I just want to have a peaceful life and do this. Okay, cool. Then you should go after that and not watch this video. If that's what you want, if you want just peace in your life, go ahead and just go after peace. But when you have a woman in your life, you invite a woman in your life, you're not inviting peace. You're inviting growth. Like, I just want to have all the cake or all the frosting in another cake. It just doesn't work that way. You want to take only the good parts of your wife, but you want to ignore all the bad parts. You want to ignore all the things that actually force you to grow. I don't want to deal with hardship. I just want the pleasure at the end of it. Brother, you don't get to walk through heaven unless you are willing to walk through hell. And so you can't come in here on the YouTube comments and say, hey, why can't I just have a happy life and just be peaceful with this woman? You might find a woman like that, but you probably won't be happy with her. Why? Because she won't be what you really want. Because a woman who's beautiful and is engaging and is conscious as fuck and is empathetic, she's not going to put up with you and your weak ass shit. She's going to want you to rise as a man. Why? Because the biological imperative on her. She is built this way. Just like you're built to want a beautiful woman, she is built to want you to rise. So of course, if you want to just sit back and be lazy and hang out and drink Mai Tais on the beach, you can do that, but just realize that when you're getting fat and your body's falling apart, she's not going to want to necessarily be a part of it. Unless you want to get with somebody else who is just doing exactly what you're doing, but then you'll be like, I'm not attracted to her. Yeah, because you have to honor your biological imperative, which is reproduction. And when you sit in this place where you're abdicating all your responsibility to somebody else, where you're saying, I don't really want to have to rise up. I don't really want to have to dive into her emotions. I just want to go to work and come home and then just hang out with her and have fun. And it's like, you don't want to actually dive in so that you can feel her. She's going to feel completely invisible. And so the game is not, how do I get my wife to respect me by using words? You can't use words. If somebody's not paying attention to what you're saying, they're not taking you seriously, obviously there's no consequence for it. You come to this place where you try to talk to her, you try to convince her, you try to communicate more, and the communication doesn't seem to work. And this is the problem with marriage counseling, because it doesn't actually get to the root of the issue. The root of the issue for the guy is not that he needs to communicate more. It's that he needs to act more and talk less. I know society tells you that this is what you're supposed to do. Happy wife, happy life, make her your queen and give her everything, and then maybe she'll turn around and give you sex and love and admiration and devotion. But I haven't seen a woman want to do it that way. I've yet to see a woman who really appreciates that long term. She might like that in the beginning. As you're dating, she's like, oh, this guy is so caring towards me and stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, once she finds out and she feels that she's stronger than you because you will do anything for her, and you will never leave her, and she's so safe with you that there's no danger, no spontaneity, no fun, she's going to lose interest in you. She wants to see your demonstrations of power. She wants to see you go out and do risky shit. She wants to see that if she pushes you too hard, you will leave her ass. She needs to feel this intrinsically. That's how she knows you're strong enough. That's how she can trust that you are the guy to follow, that you would leave her behind if she does not keep up with you. And that's the game. Even my wife will tell you this, and she's the nicest, caringest, most empathetic woman you will ever meet. And she will say, every time you rise, I feel like I have to keep moving because I'll lose you. And this keeps her interested. This shows her that I'm going somewhere. And I'm not doing it to manipulate her. I'm just deciding this is where I want to go. And then I go. And then if she wants to follow me, great. But if not, that's okay too. I'm not going to dictate what she does. But at the same time, she has to make a choice. Does she want to rise with this guy, or does she want to fall behind? And she knows that it'll be intolerable knowing that she let that fall apart. Most of you guys, if you're watching this video and you're with a woman who has been cheating on you, like, how do I turn this around? You don't turn it around. That's the rub. You don't turn her around. You don't convince her to stay. You don't convince her to go to marriage counseling. You don't convince her to do shit. She wants out. She's betraying you. Why would you invite a traitor into your kingdom? You move forward. You build what you want to build. You build the kingdom that you want. You go into the place that you need to go to be the best version of you. If she wants to be a part of it, maybe there's a space. I don't know. She kind of proved that she's a traitor. Might not be a good idea to invite her back in because she'll probably turn you back into the old weak ass that you were. But what you do need to do is start stepping up like a king. It's a mindset. It's an identity shift, and it is a choice. It is a fucking choice, and it is your responsibility to make it. I can't make that choice for you. I can't convince you to want to win. I can't convince you to not lose. This has to come from you. This has to come from within you. Until you decide this, you're always going to get cheated on. You're always going to get left behind. You're always going to not have what you really want in life. You're going to always have these people. You're going to wonder why nobody loves you, why you're by yourself, why you have no friends, why you can't make the money you want to make, why you have a terrible relationship with your kids, because you're not connected within yourself and you're not holding true to who that guy is and making sure that the world follows that. You have to create your reality the way that you want. You can't sit here and chase after your wife, convince her to come back just because you're in emotional pain. The reason that you're in emotional pain is because, well, you just got proven that you probably aren't as cool or as awesome as you thought you were. And that's the rub. She thought that she could do better than you, and then she leaves you, and you fall apart, and you fall into a mess, and she proves you're right. And she proves herself right. And so do you really want to prove your wife right? Do you really want to prove the woman who has been cheating on you, or betraying you, or manipulating you right? Or do you want to prove her wrong? You want to prove her that you are better than this, that you are better than this for yourself, that you can do more than this, that you are called to do more than not sit here and be like giving up your entire sovereignty as a man to this woman. It's insane. Most guys will come in and say they've never done a single thing for themselves. Like, why don't you invest in yourself in this program? You'll turn everything around really quick. And he's like, well, I don't know. I feel guilty about buying anything for myself or investing in myself. I'm like, dude, you're not investing in yourself. You're investing not only in yourself, but in your family. So, brother, if this has been helpful for you, if you want to know more about the Soul Seducer program, you want to join it, you want to get powerful, if you want to rise, if you want to stop watching these fucking YouTube videos and actually make a change and make a determination in your life and make a commitment right now that you will not live in this place where you're being cheated on, lied, manipulated, dealing with narcissism, being called a narcissist just because you decided to stand up for yourself, go check out Soul Seducer. The link is in the description below this video. Anyways, brother, if you like this video, hit like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one.